Hey everybody, what's good with you? It is Friday, Friday, Friday. Congratulations, friends. You have made it through another work week. Hopefully you had some successes this week and that everything was beautiful this week. If you went back to work this week, welcome. I've been at work a long time, so about time you showed up. If you still got a few more weeks off or a few more days off, how about that? Be easy, okay? Because everybody's coming back on Monday. So you ain't got no choice. Ta-da, welcome. If I had to title this 5F Friday, I would have to just say fire. Okay, so so last week we had a pastor come, guest preacher come in because we're actually looking for a pastor, and so he is one of the candidates to come in and do a sermon for us. Okay, and so he preached out of Jeremiah 20. And in the whole thing about Jeremiah 20, he read the first chunks of the chapter. And pretty much it was talking about how there's something that he couldn't like let go. So Jeremiah was like, it's just like fire shut up in my bones, or the case is. And I'm like, okay, good. I've heard that in a couple of songs. I've heard it before, but let me go back and read it. So I went to do some extended research on Jeremiah, and come to find out, like, Jeremiah walked into his job reluctantly. Like, he really didn't want to be a prophet, but guess what? God had other plans. Okay, and so that's number one. Sometimes we go through stuff and we feel like we have made plans and we feel like we should have what we need to have, and Lord is like, nope, pause, you're going to do this. That's why to this day I'm in administration, and yeah, that's not on my plan. It wasn't on my bucket list. It wasn't on my bingo card. Like, that's number one. So if you have to go into something reluctantly, just know that, or it's not on your plan, just know that God does know what's best for you, and he knows the plans that he has for you. Okay, so that was number one. Then number two, not only was he in there reluctantly become a prophet, but he was like, the Lord told him that this was going to be a hard job for him to do. And so the fact that he told him it's going to be a hard job to do, that he was going to have to do, Jeremiah was like, okay, you know what, cool. So Jeremiah told the people everything that was going to happen. Like, he put it out there. This is what's going to happen. They're going to become, you sinned a whole lot. Like, you say one thing, you mean another. And therefore, the Lord is hot with y'all, and he is going to bring down the wrath. And the people still were like, whatever. Which leads me to point number two. There will be some times when you'll try to tell people stuff and it's really for their own good, and they're not going to accept what it is you're trying to give to them. And I always tell people, like, people have to be ready to receive what it is you're trying to give them. And I used to just like pound it in their chest, like, come on, man, you got to get it, you got to get it. And then I realized after a while that they have to go through their own anguish and issues and stress. And therefore, I'm not about to continue to waste my energy trying to get you to get it, when, in all seriousness, like, if you don't take my advice, fine then. Don't take my advice, okay? But it hurts when they don't take your advice. And that's what happened with Jeremiah. Jeremiah was like in so much pain and so much anguish because he saw the people going through all this mess. And then not only were they going through all this mess, they persecuted him. Like, wait a minute, I tried to tell y'all, I tried to warn y'all about what's going on, and yet you came after me. You had me beaten. You put me in jail. Which leads me to point number three. Like, people are going to talk bad about you when all you're trying to do is do the right thing by them. It's crazy how that works. However, when it came to the part of there's this like fire shut up in his bones, like, because Jeremiah was hot. Like, Jeremiah was like, cursed day I was born, cursed day I was everything. And we go through that all the time when we're just like, dang, like, why am I here on earth? Like, why am I still here? Why am I still doing this? Why am I still trying? Why am I still here? And then every once in a while, like, you get that glimpse. And I look at that as far as being like education. Like, education is hard. Education is difficult. Anybody who's a teacher or, or administrator, paraprofessional, school counselor, like, it's difficult. And I always didn't want to really go into administration because I know that is an even harder job, because not only do you have your students, you got their families, and you got your own staff and their families. Like, you're taking on the weight of the world, the weight of the people. And that's a whole lot. However, just like the fire shut up in your bones, or in Jeremiah's bones, it's that fire shut up in your bones, and you can't get around it. Like, you can't not teach. You can't not say something. You can't just not, like, let people just fall by the wayside and not let them know something. And I had a conversation with one of my friends. She was like, maybe I'm doing too much. And I'm like, Evan, hey, like, it's not in our nature to slack off. It's not in our nature to just do just enough to get by. And therefore, you shouldn't want to. So, if you haven't read the book of Jeremiah, go look at it because it's very much interesting. But if you still have that fire and that burning desire to just do what it is that you need to do, and you like, I can't give up. I got to keep going through it. I got to see to the end. That's nobody but the Lord giving you strength to endure all the headaches, all the hurt, all the hard work, all of the everything, because he has the plans for you and he knows the plans that he has for you, and that he's going to give you hope for your future, because that too is also in Jeremiah 29:11. All right. So, of course, if no one told you they love you today, just know that I do. I hope you have a fantabulous weekend. Welcome back, teachers, and we'll see you next week. Bye now.